Okay, looks like I'm black. Seems like he's taking his time. Okay. Playing on OGS. Just gonna try ranking it up, see what happens. Looks like our first game is gonna be versus a 6Q. Hmm. He should probably approach my corner. He can also probably enclose one of his, but seems more normal to try and approach. It's a bit unusual. There's some weakness in the corner, so I can try something like this where I'm kind of protecting my corner. And if he goes, pushes up here, I can pincer, and he has a weak group. So he tanukis here, which is not terrible. It probably is better than just pushing up here because then he gets a heavy group that gets attacked. But he did kind of help me defend my corner. So now I can approach here or here. Not sure which I like better. If I approach here and he like pincers, that kind of helps over here. So I think I'll approach this side first. And I don't really like approaching on the inside because they just kind of pincer. I could take the corner, but they can develop a lot of potential. And I'm also a fan of this move because I'm still kind of building potential here. The corner is still open, and I'm able to reduce any potential he has over here. And then I just kind of treat these stones as light. Mhm. And he could also sometimes try to like attach here and keep them split, but because these stones are so light, it doesn't really matter too much. So I think I'll even just Tanuki, because if he pushes through, these stones are light, and I've already limited his potential. And when I approach here, he can pincer, but this kind of helps. So I think I'll just jump and then try to just make this my area, unless he invades. He pushes, just gonna jump. Don't really care about this stone anymore. And mostly just want to keep trying to build this area while also reducing his potential. He can try and jump out here and keep me separated, but I think just by attaching here, I can keep growing this. So I'll Atari once, and then I think I'll just try to connect lightly. There's a cut here, but I don't really care. Again, these are lights. He's spent all these moves here playing and hasn't really made any points. And he can try and capture some, but it doesn't seem like it'll really help too much because my stones are kind of just in the way and they're being annoying and they're making it where he can't really do much. So yeah, he can capture these, and now there's some potential here, but he gave me a lot of potential here, so I'm just gonna keep growing that and extend. So now he can jump in here, but I should be able to get a pretty good attack. And even if it lives, it's not too big of a deal. So I could keep growing, but I can also approach over here or even 3-3. This one might be a bit too much because it's kind of a cramped area. So I think I'll approach. If I play this one, I'm not really growing this area too much, and he can still kind of jump in. And it should be really difficult for me to kill. But I'll get potential somewhere else while he's living. I can also play like an attach here later if I get another move here, and then he has some weaknesses, but for now, I think this is a pretty strong group. Okay, so it looks like he's trying to protect this area. So I think I'm going to 3-3 because he's probably just going to block here, and then I can get more in the corner. If he blocks this way, then I destroy all the points here, and then this area is still open. So yeah, definitely should block here. And he grew this area a little bit, but not by much. He can kind of draw a line here, and I would say that this is probably already his territory. And when he plays here, he pretty much only gained a few points here. And I can still like Atari here and reduce it. Okay, so he's trying to press me down. I don't want to let him just keep pushing because I don't want to let him connect to this stone. I want to try and keep it weak. I have lots of liberties here, so I think I can go ahead and jump. Hmm. Though if I push here, he can make a base. And if he turns here, my corner's alive. So I don't really want to let him get a base for this stone. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and just pincer directly. Okay, so he's gonna save this. Not sure if that's a good idea or not, but we'll just run out. So my goal here is not really to try and kill this, but to try and maybe get some influence on the outside to help grow this area. So I can still connect under, and if he cuts me off, it's not Sente. So I can be a little bit more aggressive here and not worry about the cut as much. And then I just really want to push him in this direction and get some stones on the outside. So I'll even Hane. Okay, he can cut. I'm just going to back off here. So if he Ataris and goes here, there's still a cut. He eventually has to go back and defend. So you have to be a little bit worried about this one, but I can still connect under. So this one seems a little bit too aggressive for me. Because this group can still run out to the center. It can still try and connect under. And his group is almost surrounded now. Not sure if I have a good move here. If I try this one, he goes here, and then he goes here, and then there's like Ataris. So I kind of like this move, just because it kind of connects to this one. He can't really cut right away. And if he pushes, I can sacrifice the one stone. And again, my goal is not really to kill this, it was just to get something on the outside. So even if he lives here in Gote, I can play a move around here trying to connect to this and cut these off. Yep. And I'll just let him connect. So if he goes here, I go here, he goes here. I think if I extend, if I get to go here and peep here, his group is still not 100% alive. Also stuff like Atari and Squeeze. I'm not sure I can get away with it, so I'll go ahead and just extend and block. And then if he goes here, here, there's still a peep. Um, Even here, there's still some weaknesses here, but I'm going to go ahead and try and fix my cutting point while also running out because I'm cutting off the two stones. And then a side effect is I'm also kind of reducing this a little bit as well. Okay, so he's trying to get out. I can still connect under, so I don't worry too much about a cut. And I'll just Atari here, because it should be Sensei. Capturing this is quite big. And yeah, I'll just jump here, because it's kind of making a connection, but it's also threatening to reduce this area. So if he spends a move to defend it, I can then come over here and cut the whole thing off. Okay, he pushes here. I'm not sure if he's aiming at a cut here or if he's just going to jump in, which is pretty big. But if he has to worry about defending this, he doesn't have time to reduce this area. So if he jumps here, I can kind of just force him to defend, and I'm turning this into my area. And I'll go ahead and just run and connect. So even if he cuts here, I can either just sacrifice the 2, or I can keep surrounding. Okay, so he's trying to make eyes here. I think I'm going to try something like this, because it's kind of reducing his eye space, but I also get some forcing moves to try and turn this into points. And if he tries to fight back too hard, then his whole group just doesn't have any eyes. And also because of this move, I can also start thinking of moves like around here, because there's a cut. So yeah, here he's trying to fight back. Not sure which way I want to try. I think I'll just block here. Because if he turns, I just connect. There's still a cutting point, and I'm still almost turning this into points. In fact, instead of connecting directly, I probably can do the tiger's mouth. Okay, so he's trying to be a bit more aggressive. So if I go here and connect, and he tries to run this out, I should just have the ladders. So it seems like it's a little bit too aggressive. And it feels like he'll end up with 2 weak groups. And I think I should be mostly connected. Maybe I have some weaknesses, but it feels like it should be a little bit better for black. And then over here, I still have like extend here and then play here. Maybe if I go here, he could try this one. So maybe it doesn't quite work. But if he changes his mind now and he Atari's here and I capture, that's pretty much just making this solid territory. So it feels like he has to extend here and fight back. And then I have to connect, and then he can try and ladder me, but maybe he can get a peep in. But even if he cuts off a single stone, I can still 3/3 and live in the corner. But the main thing is this whole group is eyeless. So if he does peep, I'm just going to extend. He pushes through, then I'm going to keep attacking the center group. And also, now that this is getting stronger, this also is getting a little bit weaker. So I could play something around here. And if I get another move over here, this group is also looking like it's starting to get into some trouble. And the ladder should just work for me. Okay, so I just need to turn. Just need to try and connect as quickly as I can. Push through, because I want to create some cutting points. And now I'll just connect. So this is cut off. He doesn't have 2 eyes yet, so I should get either this area, or maybe even both, depending on how he plays. Just going to go ahead and peep here. Makes my group a little bit stronger, produces some eye shape. And if I can cut here, then I don't have to worry as much about this group. Okay. And now I'll go ahead and try and reduce eyes while also trying to fix him running out this way. He can still do something like this. I probably have to block, and he can push Atari. So he can at least get one eye here. So he has to try and find a second eye somewhere. Okay. I think if I go here, everything is pretty much connected. But I don't want to try too hard to kill this. If I get to a position where it gets a little bit complicated, I probably want to just pick the safe way because this area should just be good enough. So I just need to focus on making sure all my stones are connected and can't get cut off anywhere. Okay, he does this one. So if I push here or here and I connect under, he can Atari and pretty much capture me. So I need to fix that. So I can Atari this way, and when he goes here, I connect, and then I have Miai between playing a net and capturing the two stones and connecting under. And I could also probably try and connect under with a move like this, because that's also threatening this group a little bit. Hmm. This one doesn't quite work, so I think it has to be this one. And now when I push out here and he goes here, mm, maybe he can still live. Okay, just connect, stay solid. He still needs to like block here. He still needs to play a few moves here to get an eye here. So it seems like it's still a bit of a struggle for him. I think the main issue was he kept this one light for a while, but then as soon as he made it heavy, I was able to kind of take over the game because he cut here again and then had to live here, and I got really strong as he lived. And then he had another weak group here that I could just use all my potential to fight. And then he tried to cut again here. I think if he just defended and tried to live, he could probably live, but I think I would probably be slightly ahead if I got all of the points here. Because this area is pretty big, but after this, I can still probably reduce it a little bit. But even if he got all of this, I think this area is around the same size. And then I also have this corner, and then lots of moves forcing over here. So even if this lives, I would assume I'm slightly ahead. But other than that, I think he played really well in the opening. He played very solid. It was just once the fight started, I think he struggled a little bit. Okay. So maybe he's trying to make a Liberty thing to where he can get this in Sente, but I'm not quite sure it works. And then this I can just cut. He has too many cutting points and weaknesses. And now I can even push through here and capture, and then this group's in trouble. So I have a cutting point here, but I think I have enough liberties. I don't really care. So I think it's probably bigger to try and just capture this corner. And then even if he does somehow capture this and live, this trade is good for me. And I'm not sure anything else really works because the cut looks like he just gets rid of his own liberties. Looks like he's trying to expand him a bit. So if he cuts, I push, push, he can Atari. Hmm. I think I just have more liberties, but we'll find out. Like I said, this trade is already profit for me, so even if I lose a little bit, I don't think it hurts me too much. And then I have a liberty here and here, and he can probably use this to live here. But if I capture this and this, then it's just not big enough. I don't think he has anything special he can do. And this isn't really expanding his liberties at all. So I'll just connect. And yeah, just too many liberties because he has three liberties and I have three just on the outside. Okay. And then I do need to kill. Not sure if I can do anything special first. So I do want to try and force him into living still so that I can get Sensei. But once I play here, he can go here. So I think he's pretty much alive. Yep, and I have to capture. And then playing anything over here, I guess it's not Sensei. Maybe I can do this one. But yeah, I think he could have Tanuki'd here, but not sure. And taking all of this, I feel pretty confident I'm ahead. So I think I'm just going to start playing big in-game moves. Okay, looks like he wants to try and live here, but seems pretty difficult. And all my stones are connected. And I did have to worry about some weaknesses over here, but after this move, it's kind of helping me fix that. Okay, he can't really do much. So even if he extends, I turn, and not much he can do here or here. And all he can really do here is push, and I can push and then capture. And then he shouldn't be able to get two eyes here. And I'll just go ahead and play safe. Because maybe I could have Tanuki'd and played something over here, but I think I'm ahead enough. I don't need to. I can just play some safe moves. Extends. So I guess he's going after this group, which I don't think quite works because I can cut here. But even I didn't actually notice that. So if it did work, that would have been a pretty big capture. But I think even with this dead, I still would be ahead because then I just jump in here. And then this is big in game. So if he blocks here, I probably just Hane connect and then slide in here. Although it might be bigger actually just to take the 3-3. I lose a few points here, but everything's pretty much captured and alive. And I don't think there's anything over here. So yeah, I think that's pretty much game over. Because I don't think I have any more weaknesses. Everything's pretty much connected or captured something. Yep, just go here, connect. So he's trying to live here, but I think that's just not enough space. Probably could have Haned, but then he like double Hanes, and then there's like weird stuff that could happen. So I think here, even if he does live, it doesn't matter too much. And just clamp. And then if he blocks under, I just extend, and that should just be one eye in the corner. Hmm. Maybe he can still get a ko. That's fine. Oh, actually, it's not a ko because he has to connect. So then I just go here. Hmm. Is that a Seki? Interesting. Okay, so I guess he managed to live here, I think. Although I guess I can go for a ko. I guess he could go here, so I have to go here first, and then it's a ko. But I don't really care. I'll just let him live. Oh well, that was fancy. And then I just jump in here, and then I still should be pretty far ahead. Oh, I think if he just played here, then there's nothing I can do. But now this gives me a ko. So I think if he just plays here, I can never play here or here. So even if I fill in all the liberties, I can't do anything. And then he has an I here. So not sure if that would be counted as a ko or not, but now I'll get two moves somewhere else, so it doesn't really matter what those are. So I'll probably just jump in here. And he does live. And now this group is in a little bit of trouble. And I'll just let him live. Don't really feel like I need to try too hard here. And even if he does go down, I go here, he blocks, I just come back up here. Because here I can connect under or connect here. He does that one. That feels like a tiny bit of a mistake, but I'll just go ahead and connect. And now he has to make sure that he has two eyes. Mhm. So that's one eye. Then I play here. And I'm not sure he can get another eye because he can't play here because of liberties. Hmm. And after that, yeah, I think it's just dead. There's no cut here. Hmm. Maybe he can live there. I'll see if it works. So it feels like there might be like a squeeze, but I think I can just play here to get rid of the eye. And this is all connected. The corner's fine, so that should just be dead. Mm. But it seems like he doesn't want to resign. So I guess this will just be a long video. Mm. And that's just a pass. Not sure, maybe he's upset or maybe OGS players don't resign. Because I feel like even on Fox, they would have resigned by now. And Fox is kind of known for never resigning. Because, yeah, this doesn't really work. So I could just capture, and there's not really a squeeze or anything. I can almost play this one and kill, can't I? 'Cause if I go here, if he captures, I go here, he has to block, and then I push. And not sure I can connect under, though. Okay, and he resigns. And hopefully that was somewhat interesting. I'll definitely try to rank it up and play as high as I can. It's been a while, so hopefully there's more Dawn level players I can play against. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.